What's up, Scentsy fans? It's Patricia, and today I'm bringing to you a sniff session of the transitional scents that are coming into the fall and winter catalog. So we, as consultants, receive a bag of transitional testers. What I've done is I've gone through and dug out any bars that I have, and if I don't have the bar, I will sniff the tester. I will read the scent description and we'll try to make it concise because there are 61 scents to go through. Let's get started. So the first bar that we have to discuss is apple and cinnamon sticks. This is in the spice category. Scentsy says 4 notes: apple peel, white pumpkin, and oak. This is an assertive scent. It is pretty strong. It is not your typical apple and cinnamon because of that oak and the white pumpkin. They really switch things up. This is a little bit leaning towards cologne apple and cinnamon, just in my nose because of the oak, but this has been around for a while, so obviously it's a top seller. So that is apple and cinnamon sticks. All right, the next scent we have is apple cherry strudel. This is in the bakery section. Scentsy says Granny Smith apple, cherry, and vanilla drizzle. This is a really nice cherry with the apple. This is probably the best cherry that Scentsy has ever done. A little bit of bakery flakiness to the pastry. Now, my nose struggles to smell this one for some reason. I can't pick it up very well, but most people would describe this as strong out of the gate, and it dies off quickly. Typically a day or less than a day. So keep that in mind if you're someone that likes long-lasting scents. This one may not be one for you. All right, the next one is Arctic Kiss. This is in the fresh section. Scentsy says Arctic Mint, Fresh Air, and Vanilla Clouds, and this is a bestseller for the season. So this one is very high on scent appeal for me. It's very fresh, it's clean and invigorating, but without feeling soapy or laundry. It's a very versatile scent. It's long lasting. Really, really like this one. The next one is Around the Campfire, and this one is in the wood section. Scentsy says Mountain Air, Freshly Fallen Wood, and Smoky Embers. This is a very assertive scent. It's a little bit of a niche type scent because it is smoky. It smells like a smoky cabin when you're trying to start a fire. You can smell a little bit of freshness from the crisp air that provides a little bit of sweetness, but it very much smells like a smoky fire inside a wooded cabin. Now, this is a really good mixer. If you think of it that way, if you try it on its own and you don't like it, you can actually take half a cube and mix it with something very creamy, minty, perfumey. It complements a lot of things. Vanilla. So think of it that way. It is a versatile mixer. I'm glad Scentsy brought it back because I wasn't sure if they were going to bring that one back. The next one is Autumn Hearth. This is in the spice category. The scent notes on this are apple, cinnamon, and tonka. Now, tonka is a variation of a vanilla. It's not a vanilla. It's almost like a honeyed caramel vanilla tone. Now, this is one of my mom's favorite Scentsy scents. It is assertive with the spice. If you don't like spice, then this one may not be for you. But I enjoy spice, and this smells really nice in her home, and it makes me think of her. So it's got a special place for me. So that is Autumn Hearth. The next one is Autumn Road Trip. And this one is in the fruity section. Scentsy describes this as Harvest Apple, ANJOU Pear, and Silver Oak. So this is, you definitely get apple, and then there's the pear, but the oak creeps in to give it a bit of a fresh twist. So this one is a really good one. People seem to really like this one last year. It's not a favorite of mine, but I do appreciate it because it is a nice blend. It's just not one that my nose gravitates towards. Performance is pretty good though. So that is Autumn Road Trip. The next one is Autumn Sunset. This is in the spice section. Scentsy says apples, pumpkins, and spices. And this has been around for a very long time, and it is purple with a orangey colored front. Yes, and to me this smells like an autumn potpourri smell. You get the spices, you get cinnamon and clove, very aggressive, and then it says that there's apples and pumpkins, but to me that takes a back seat. This is a very long-lasting scent. It's a pretty good performer, so that is Autumn Sunset. The next one we have is Be Merry in the Woods category. I don't have a bar, but not because I don't like it. I just need to pick one up. So the notes on Be Merry are pine boughs, holly leaf, and cassis. This was a scent of the month the first year I was a consultant. It brings back fond memories. It's a nice medley of fruitiness. The fruitiness reads berry and cranberry and bright with a little bit of tree. Like picture a wreath. A nice wreath with lots of berries. That's what this reminds me of. A perfect combination of the fruity and the fresh pine. Yes, very good. Even people that don't really like Christmas tree style scents sometimes really like this one, so keep that in mind, and it's a pretty good performer, fairly strong. All right, the next one we have is in the fruity section. It is Berry Blessed. This one is described as soft vanilla, cranberry, and sparkling sugar. So this one is a little bit different. It's bright, it's very sweet. I feel like you want to eat it a little bit. It's very different. It definitely is a fruity scent. It's almost like a candied fruity scent. I feel like there's a little bit of peach in here as well. Sometimes I feel like there's a little bit of candied grapefruit influence, but this one is nice, very blessed, nice and strong. I do like this one. All right, the next one we have is a new release. It is Black Currant and Plum. Scentsy has put this in the fruity section. The notes are dark plum, wild black currant, and apple. Now I have not warmed this one yet, but I do like it on cold sniff. I definitely get a softer type muted, a little bit of a musky fruity scent. I think I'm really gonna like this. This is one of my favorites. I just hope it performs well. So that is Black Currant and Plum. Here we have another new release. It is Blackberry Spice. This is a beautiful colored wax. Scentsy has put this in the spice section, and they describe the notes as ripe blackberry, cedarwood, and fresh clove. There's definitely a deep, heavy, fruity base to this. Not just blackberry, I feel like there's plum, maybe some stone fruit, and darker berries with a lot of woodsy, musky influence. The spice is there, but it makes the woodsy components feel heavier, if that makes any sense. Think like a dark red tannin infused scent. So that is Blackberry Spice, a pretty strong one. All right, the next one we have is Blue Sage and Tonka. This is in the wood section. Scentsy has scent notes of midnight, sage, black lavender, and tonka bean. So this one here is a little bit of a masculine style scent. It's not overly strong and it's not overly cologne-y. It's a little bit fresh. You can smell that, the little bit of the freshness of the sage, not an herbaceous sage, almost like a fresh sage. They also describe lavender, which I would agree, and tonka bean I don't really pick up a lot, but that could be bringing the intensity down. So this one is a soft to medium in my home, Blue Sage and Tonka. So the next one we have is Bright Cider Life. This is in the fruity section. The notes on this are spiced harvest cider, pumpkin, and red apple. So the cider gives it that warmth and sweetness, and then you have the apple and the pumpkin. Now I don't find I get a ton of pumpkin compared to the apple, but it's just a very well-rounded scent. There's almost like a creamy tone. There's almost bakery tones, a little bit of a woodsy, smoky tone. It's very complex. This is a beautiful scent. Hopefully I didn't scare you just describing it. But I always say if you don't know if you like apple better or pumpkin better and you just want an awesome scent, then pick up Bright Cider Life, because most people that try this really, really like this and is a really good performer, about a medium, and it seems to last a long time. All right, the next one we have is Caramel Apple Craze, and Scentsy has put this in the fruity category, but I would argue it could easily go in the bakery section. This one has notes of golden caramel, red delicious apples, and whipped vanilla. So it's like they took a Johnny Appleseed type scent and a caramel type scent, and they made a baby, an Caramel Apple Craze. So this is strong, and it's pretty good performer, fairly long lasting. It's pretty intense that first few hours. It does taper off a little, but this is a terrific performing scent, and I've really grown to appreciate it over time. So that is Caramel Apple Craze. All right, the next one is a bestseller, and it is top ranks for me as well. Cashmere and Corduroy. Scentsy has put this in the wood section. It has notes of creamy vanilla, Sicilian bergamot, and cashmere sandalwood. And this is the most dreamy, warm, comforting scent in the catalog. I just love it. Yes, you've got to give this one a try. It's different. It's a little bit of a feminine, perfumey twist, but in the best possible way. It's not overly assertive in any of its notes. So this is a home run. 2 thumbs up, Cashmere and Corduroy. All right, the next one is in the wood section as well. It is Cedar Cider. And I always say this is the one that my family independently commented that they all liked it. I did not ask for their opinion. Each one came into the room and was like, wow, this smells really nice. And there's only been one other scent that they've done that since with. So Cedar Cider has notes of apples, cinnamon sticks, vanilla beans, and white cedar branches. It's very complex. I describe it as a sophisticated scent. If you had company coming over and you were trying to impress them, put this in your big zone. It'll just be the perfect intensity, not overwhelming at all. Yes, it's got a great balance. And if you find it's a little bit too assertive for you after you've tried it by some chance, you could always mix a vanilla in with this and it would still be complimentary. So that is really, really good. Kind of like a dark horse scent. It is Cedar Cider. All right, the next one we have is in the bestseller category. It is Christmas Cottage. So the notes from Scentsy are Valencia oranges, raspberries, cloves, and spices. Definitely spice heavy, definitely cinnamon heavy. So this is one of those holiday medley scents where cinnamon and berries and fruit all go together in a nice combination. This is a classic scent. Most people, if you are okay with spice, you love this because it's just classic Scentsy. I do like this a lot. I actually have a brick. About a medium intensity performer in terms of strength and longevity for me, but definitely a good one. Christmas Cottage. All right, the next one is in the spice section. It is Cider Mill. This would probably be better placed in the fruit section, but Scentsy has described this one as apples, pumpkin, and spices, and it is a bestseller. The spices are there because I do smell them. Even though I love spices, I can pick them up, but they're not overbearing at all. They're a gentle, you know, backseat type of note. It's just perfectly done. This is a type of scent that you're going to get lots and lots of compliments on. It's a sweet cider scent. Perfectly done. So definitely add this to your list if you've not tried this one. It is Cider Mill. All right, we have another bestseller, a little bit of a controversial type one because this one is spice heavy. You'll hear by the name, Cinnamon Bear. So obviously you have to like cinnamon to like this one. So this one has notes of cinnamon and clove. And most people would say red hot, like a red hot Cinnamon Bear candy. I think the clove just cuts it just the tiniest bit, but this is a good mixer if you want to add a little bit more of a cinnamon punch to something. Definitely put this one in. So Cinnamon Bear, it's been around a while. All right, the next one on our list is Cinnamon Buttercream, and guess what? It is another bestseller. So this one has notes of Italian buttercream, mascarpone, and cinnamon cake. Now this has definitely got a GBD component, which I describe as golden brown and delicious. So that cinnamon cake has a little bit of that. But the mascarpone kind of reads a little bit milky, but when you warm this, it actually warms really nice. So the cinnamon isn't overbearing. It's kind of diluted by some of the creaminess. So think of it that way. This is actually a really good mixer as well. So great on its own, a pretty good mixer, cinnamon buttercream. All right, the next one we have is kind of like an Energizer bunny. Once you put it in the warmer, it'll just last and last. It is clove and cinnamon, which basically has notes of cinnamon sticks and clove. And there's a lot of clove. And then there's cinnamon. The cinnamon is aggressive and hot, but if you're a spice lover, then you want to definitely have this one in your repertoire because it's one of those ones, it's a great Scentsy value scent. You're going to get lots and lots of days out of this one, so that is clove and cinnamon. So the next one we have is another cozy style scent. It is Cozy Cardigan. Scentsy has put this in the fresh section, and this one is a little bit different from Cashmere and Corduroy, but they could hang out together. They would be good friends. So this one is described as soft suede, blushing rose, and amber silk. It's a little bit more fancy. Don't let the rose scare you. It's a little bit more perfumey, a little bit more of that floral coziness. But this is really, really nice. And this one has been around for about 2 or 3 years. It's doing very well. We have it in some other products. So a lot of people will be happy this one came back. It is Cozy Cardigan. All right, the next one we have is the only new release bakery this season, and it is Cran Apple Crumble. So Scentsy describes this as baked cran apple, brown sugar, and whipped cream. So that whipped cream brings the intensity down a little bit. There's not a ton of the crumble. There's the brown sugar influence from the crumble, but not a ton of the crumble. It's more of a apple cranberry baked juicy gooey goodness. I did really enjoy this one. Performance is kind of mixed, so I'm going to fiddle around with it, but definitely going to pick up some more bars of this one. It is Cran Apple Crumble. It's very delicious. All right, the next one we have is Dancing Sugar Plums. This is in the spice section. It's probably season 3 for this one. It has notes of spiced plum, vanilla, and cinnamon apple. If you like black raspberry vanilla and you could imagine that as a spicy scent, then you might get something similar to Dancing Sugar Plums. The intensity is not overbearing. It's a little bit softer. So if you're someone that doesn't love super strong scents, then this might be a good one to try. Yeah, and the spice is not overbearing either. It is definitely there, but it's a nice gentle hum in the background. It's definitely a fruity spice scent. All right, the next one we have is Season 2, Returnee. It's actually made it into the bestseller list. It is Eucalyptus Reed. This is in the fresh section. Scentsy has notes of fresh, eucalyptus, juniper, and frosted mint. Yes, if you like eucalyptus scents with a little bit of a twist, almost like a sophisticated twist, that is what this reads to me. The juniper is not a heavy, scary juniper. It's nicely done in this scent. This isn't a type of scent that I gravitate towards, but I know this sold terrific last year. So if you're someone that likes eucalyptus-based scents, definitely pick this up. It is not really close to Just Breathe. It is definitely more woodsy, wintry fresh. So that is Eucalyptus Wreath. All right, the next one I don't have a bar. I actually recently sold it to a local customer that loves this scent. So yes, there are people that love this scent. It is Fairy Tale Pumpkin. This has made it into the catalog as a little bit of a surprise for some, but it definitely has its fans. It's described as Harvest Pumpkin, Midnight Black Raspberry, and Black Licorice, and it is in the fruity section. So I don't really get pumpkin. I feel like this is almost like a candied blueberry scent, but also other flavors from your Halloween treat bag mixed with that. That's what it smells like to me. There's definitely a hint of a black licorice, so if you don't like that scent, but it's not overbearing. I don't mind this, but I don't love it. Performance from my recollection was just fine. So that is Fairy Tale Pumpkin. All right, the next one we have is a new release to the catalog this year. It's in the wood section. It is Falling Apples. This one has notes of crisp apple, acorn, and oak. The apple is quite a heavy apple, and then the woodsy notes are kind of a fresh woodsy to my nose. It starts off strong, not overly long lasting, so maybe one you'd probably change after a day or so. So that is Falling Apples. All right, the next one is in the spice section, although I find that a little strange. It is Farm Stand Pumpkin. To me, I'd probably put this more in the fruity, maybe bakery, I don't know. Let's read the notes. The notes are apple, cinnamon stick, pumpkin, and caramel. I definitely get pumpkin and I get caramel. I don't really get apple and I don't really get spices. That's what my nose picks up, pumpkin and caramel. And I don't warm this a lot, so I can't comment on performance. But from my recollection, it was about an average performer. So that is Farm Stand Pumpkin. All right, the next one is in the spice section. It is a bestseller. It is First Day of Fall. This one has notes of just pipped pumpkin, autumn woods, ground nutmeg, and a dash of cinnamon. So there's definitely that pumpkin. There's definitely a little bit of freshness from the woods, but there's that nutmeg, and that nutmeg just kind of carries it through. Cinnamon is there, but I find that nutmeg is the star of the show on this one. Obviously, it blends with all those other notes, but that's what differentiates this one for me. This is one that sometimes, because of the name, it does tend to sell very well early in the fall. So make sure if you want this one, grab it early because sometimes it goes out of stock. So that is First Day of Fall. All right, the next one is in the fresh section, and I have a big, huge brick. It's a brick scent that has made it into the catalog. It is Fluffy Fleece. Isn't that beautiful? So a brick is almost 5 3/4 size of a Scentsy bear. That's why it's so big. You cut it to size. So this one has notes of black currant, cozy musk, and heliotrope. This is different than any other scent that we have in the catalog. It's perfumey, it's powdery, it's musky. It's very hard to explain. It's funny, my mom has a fleece jacket. It's almost this color, a little bit lighter, and I feel like this smells a little bit like my mom. And my husband says this smells like the perfume section as you walk through the bay. So take those two things, combine them together, and you've got Fluffy Fleece. Now this has made it into the laundry, which I think is very suitable. So I will be picking it up in laundry. But in wax, I find it's about a light to medium. If you want it stronger, you have to load up on the wax, but in doing so, it will last quite a long time. So this one I find is one that sometimes you should use a little bit more in the warmers, but it'll tend to last a bit longer than that way. So that is Fluffy Fleece. All right, the next one we have is another blue wax. It is Frosted Vanilla. This is a new release this year. It's got notes of sweet vanilla bean, birch bark, and frosty air. Now I'm just gonna let you know this one I don't care for. There's a very strong mintiness, but when you warm it, something almost medicinal comes out. I feel it's a little bit better here today than when I've smelled it in the past. I'm not as taken aback by it. But yes, there's something in here that my nose reads a little bit like some sort of mentholatum or liniment. So this one is not a favorite of mine, but it's getting great feedback and it's a really good performer. It's fairly strong and it's fairly long lasting. So if you tend to like airy vanilla scents, you may not pick up on what I'm picking up, but this one is getting good praise. So that is Frosted Vanilla. All right, the next one is a bestseller in the bakery. It is Graham Cracker Crunch. This little tester reminds me that I need to pick up a bar. I do really like this one. I love it on its own, and it's a good little mixer. So that it's a different type of scent. Scentsy describes this one as caramelized graham cracker, crunchy peanut butter and vanilla bean. So this year, peanut butter scents have been all the rage, and Scentsy has put their own spin on it, and I think they did a really good job. Yes, it's not overbearing. It's there, but the graham cracker holds its own as well. So it's a little bit of a heavier style bakery, one of those GBD, golden brown and delicious, heavy bakeries, but so warm and cozy. I really, really like this one. I'll definitely be adding this to my reorder list. All right, next one we have is a bestseller in the spice section, Harvest Blessings. This is year 2 for this one. It is Radiant Apple, Spiced Pumpkin, and Smooth Oak. This is spice heavy. Reminds me of an old school Yankee. Maybe something like Harvest from Yankee, very cinnamon spiced heavy. And a little tiny bit of fruitiness. Performance is about medium for me. So that is Harvest Blessings. The next one we have is a new scent in the woods category. It's called Huckleberry Hideaway. This one has notes of fresh picked huckleberry, mountain violet, crisp white woods. So I find it's definitely a huckleberry scent. There's a fancy woodsy scent in the background. I'm not sure about violet, but if they say it's there, I believe them. This one was okay for me. I will probably pick up one more bar perhaps, but it's not one that I need to stock up on, but I definitely enjoy trying out all the new releases. So Huckleberry Hideaway is probably gonna please all the woodsy fruity fans. All right, the next one we have is Hug in a Mug. This one's been around a while. It's basically chocolate, hazelnut, and cookie dough. Brings me back to when I first became a consultant, because I believe this one came into play in the 2018 fall and winter catalog. Yes, it reminds me of hot chocolate. It reminds me of hot chocolate. Maybe, it's funny, I'm eating an ice cream lately and it's got the cookie dough in the middle and I can kind of smell that here. So this is one that puts a smile on your face. It's not one that I warm a lot, but when I crave it, I warm it, it hits the spot. It's pretty strong and then it's gone, but the payout is worth it. So not very long lasting if you're someone that likes their scents to last and last. This may not be one that you want to pick, but if you're someone that wants to experiment and pick a chocolate scent, this is really well done. Think Hot Cocoa and Cream from Bath & Body Works, along that line. All right, the next one is one of my favorite tree scents. It is Iced Pine, and it actually is a bestseller this year, and I don't think I've noticed that before. This one has fir, pine, and peppermint. It's like a tongue twister. Fir, pine, peppermint. I have a broken clamshell. Yeah, you can definitely get that peppermint. That's what differentiates this from some of the other tree scents. This is a bit of a stronger one as well. It's a little bit more like in your face, but in my big open layout, that's kind of what I need, a very strong assertive scent. So that is Iced Pine. I do find these Christmas tree type scents, they don't tend to last a long time, but that's just the nature of the beast. So that is a bestseller this year. Right, the next one I really enjoy, and it is in the fresh section, but you could easily put it in the wood section. It is Icicles and Evergreen. This was probably one of my favorite scents of the month from 2021. So this one is described as cool blue eucalyptus, pine needles, and crystallized sugar. And I remember there's like an apple note in here, and there's a sweetness to this scent. I gotta smell it. Yeah, this is a special type of scent. I feel like I've got a little bit of, there's a little bit of oils there. It's worth it, it's worth it. This is probably one of my favorite new scents. I really enjoy it. It always puts a smile on my face. I don't tend to warm these type of scents often because to me, there's a narrow window for me to warm them. But when I warm them, I go full tilt, and I love this one. Medium performer from Recollection, so that is Icicles and Evergreen. Definitely 2 thumbs up from me. All right, the next one is in the spice section, and this one will blow your socks off. It is Maple Apple Bourbon, but not because of the spice, more of the maple and the apple. So this one has notes of red apple, rich maple, and a splash of bourbon. I don't really think the spice is the typical spice, but the bourbon lends warmth, and there's probably some spices we're not privy to, but this one is very, very strong, and it's a great performer. And sometimes if you have your bag of testers and you're pouring them all out, this is the one you're going to probably smell. And maybe it's because I'm not huge into maple. This one I have to be in the mood for. If I'm in the mood for it, I'm okay with it. Sometimes I smell it and it's a bit of a turn off, but that's just because of scent preferences. If you love maple, I definitely suggest you give this one a try. It's a terrific performer. All right, the next one is in the fruity section. It could easily go into spice. It is Orchard Apple and Spice. So this one has notes of orchard apple, bright cherry, and warm spice. This is a really good one in my opinion. This one sold very well when it was a harvest scent, so I'm not surprised it made its way into the catalog. It's a fairly strong performer. It's not a boomer, but it's fairly strong. You're gonna smell it. It's not overbearing, and those 3 notes are blended really well together. And it just seems to be a people pleaser. Now, do you have to like cherry to like this? Maybe. I do like cherry. Some people don't. So it'd be interesting to hear in the comments below if you're someone that doesn't like cherry, what you think of this one. But I really like this one. Orchard Apple and Spice. I'm happy that made its way into the catalog. All right, the next one is a new release in the fruit section. It is PEAR-FECT Day. Autumn pear, spiced syrup, and bourbon. This is basically like a sweet, juicy, crisp, almost nectary pear with the warmth of the spices. Yeah, I really enjoyed this one when I warmed it. Performance was about medium for me, but yes, I would repurchase this. And I think if you like pear scents, you definitely want to pick this one up. If you're one that liked Apple Teeny Splash, imagine a fall pear version of that. You might get a little bit close to PEAR-FECT Day. What we have is Perfect Peppermint. This is in the fresh section. It's described as pure peppermint. There's a tiniest bit of vanilla to me in this one. Yes, I like it. It's not a favorite, but it's a good standard basic run-of-the-line peppermint. Great on its own, good mixer, about a medium intensity. So that is Perfect Peppermint. All right, the next one we have is Polar Bear Hug, formerly known as Eskimo Kiss. So that always makes me think of when they said Prince, the artist formerly known as Prince. Anyway, Polar Bear Hug is a bestseller this year. So the notes on this one, they're complicated, but they're good. It's blackberry jam, brown sugar, vanilla, and amber. And the blackberry jam, it says here, is caramelized. So does that smell like this? I don't know. This smells really different. This is an extremely unique scent. It's perfumey, it's sweet, it's complex, very different. If you're intrigued by different type of scents, then you definitely want to pick up Polar Bear Hug. And I think I might have said this, but it's a bestseller this year, so good for it. And a very, very, very long-lasting scent. So that is one of the most unique, longer-lasting scents that Scentsy offers. All right, the next scent we have is in the fruity section. It is Pomegranate Prosecco. This is year 2 for this. It's basically rosé berry, pomegranate, and pink Prosecco. Yes, this is very similar to the older scent Dazzling Pomegranate, along those lines. Like a fruity, effervescent, New Year's Day, New Year's Eve kind of scent. Great for the fruity lovers that are hanging on to the spring and summer scents. This will bring you into fall and winter, but in a gentle spring and summer kind of way because there's a lot of fruitiness. So it's vibrant and it is a feel-good kind of scent. So Pomegranate Prosecco, good to kind of break up all the heaviness of the fall and winter season. All right, so let's talk a couple of spicy scents. We have Pumpkin Chai. This one is described as white pumpkin, cinnamon, and chai. Now, sometimes Scentsy's chai scents a little bit, to me, smell like cornbread. I don't know why I get that. I got that with Cozy Chai, and I'm getting it with Pumpkin Chai. So this reminds me a little bit of Cozy Chai, but with pumpkin. Yeah, it's okay for me. I would say performance was fairly long-lasting. So that is Pumpkin Chai. Now the next spicy scent, I feel like it should be more in the bakery, but I like this one, so I'm not going to complain. It is Pumpkin Cinnamon Swirl. So this one is a former scent of the month back from 2017. It's been in the catalog for quite a few years. It's basically fresh pumpkin, cinnamon stick, and whipped icing. Picture a Cinnabon that they put a tiniest bit of pumpkin puree, and they just did that to make it smell like a fall scent. This one smells like a very yummy Cinnabon variation. That whipped icing, yum, yum, yum. I don't really even like pumpkin, but man, oh man, I'm all over this one every year. So that is Pumpkin Cinnamon Swirl. All right, we have another pumpkin scent, but this one is in the bakery section. It is Pumpkin Roll. And a lot of people go back and forth. Do you like Pumpkin Cinnamon Swirl better? Do you like Pumpkin Roll better? My preference changes from year to year because I love them both. So this one is described as creamy pumpkin pie filling, yellow cake, pecans, butter, and spice. And I don't know if I've mentioned this, but I don't even really like pumpkin, but I love this one. It's just so well done. It's sweet, but not overly sweet. There's a little bit of nuttiness. The butter, the spices, the sweet icing, everything is perfect. Yes, this one blends really nice with other scents as well. So give it a try mixing as well, but this is a really good one. I'm so happy it made its way back. All right, the next scent we have is in the bakery section. It is Salted Caramel Toffee. This one has notes of salted caramel, toffee, and butterscotch. Yes, to all those three things, that is exactly what it smells like to me. It's rich, it's deep, it's a little bit sweet, but balanced by the saltiness. It's a great mixer. On its own, it's about a medium to medium plus for me. That does tend to wear off a little bit fast, but I'm okay with that. I'm really happy this one is in the catalog because you can add it to different things to switch it up. So that is Salted Caramel Toffee. Used to be a brick a couple of years ago. All right, the next one we have is a bestseller, and it is year 2 for it. It is Scarlet Sunflower. This is in the fruity section. You could easily put it in the floral. The notes on this are juicy apple, red cranberry, and scarlet sunflower. So this one has the rich, basically sunflower scent. Makes it a little bit fall, great for the fall time. It's got a little bit of apple. I don't get a lot of cranberry. The cranberry is kind of a backseat note. The apple reads a little bit like apple juice to me. This is a little bit tangy. I actually think this smells better than it did last year. This is just an okay scent for me, but I'm definitely going to warm it again to give it a try. Performance was about average from my recollection. So that is Scarlet Sunflower. Obviously, people loved it enough. It's a bestseller this year. All right, the next one we have is, I believe, the best-selling scent of the month from 2021. It is Scary Good. This is a bakery scent, and Scentsy describes Scary Good as pumpkin puree, fresh cinnamon, toasted butterscotch, and creamy vanilla. Toasted is the optimal word. There's definitely a good amount of spice in here. You could almost slide this into the spice section, but it's almost like a spicy pumpkin pie filling with the tiniest bit of a smoky toasted butterscotch. Yeah, this is a good one to add to a bunch of other scents to switch it up. You could add it to other bakery scents if you want more pie influence, but this one is well loved. I'm not huge into it because I don't love pumpkin pie type scents by themselves, but obviously I'm probably in the minority. But that is Scary Good. Most people would say it is definitely good for them. One I do happen to love is Silver Bells. This is one of my absolute favorite scents. This is minty candy canes, winter pear, caramel, and vanilla sugar. Kind of a complicated sounding scent. It's almost like a gentle, minty, airy, musky, perfumey, sweet body care scent. I don't know. This is really hard to describe. This one warms at a light to medium, but it lasts and lasts. So if you have a scent that you're looking for to put in after Christmas or even around Christmas, a great bedroom scent, very romantic and soothing, then definitely pick this up. I have a couple, I have a car bar and a scent circle hanging off my bedpost. I like it that much, so that's Silver Bells. All right, the next one we have is a citrus scent. It's a new release. It is Sips of Cider. This has notes of blood orange, sparkling ginger, and cinnamon stick. And there is definitely a citrus scent. They probably could have called this citrus cider and it would have depicted a little bit more of what you're gonna smell, because sometimes you hear cider and you think it's gonna be like an apple cider, but this is a citrus cider. Picture like blood orange and some slices of lemon and some grapefruit zest and some medley of cinnamon sticks and ginger all infused and bubbling, and then you drink it. Sips of Cider. I really enjoyed this one. All right, the next one we have is in the spice category, and I love this one too. I feel like I love a lot of them, but I am a fall and winter girl at heart. This is Spiced Ember Glow. This is a really hard scent to describe, but Scentsy says it has notes of smoked apple, vanilla, and cinnamon embers. All right, I don't know if it has smoked apples. It definitely has like an embery kind of tone, but this is done really nice. It's kind of a sophisticated background scent. It's not overly strong for me. It's between light and medium, but I love this in my bedroom. I love it. It's sweet, but sophisticated and kind of complex with that like toasty, spicy, embery kind of thing going on. So if that sounds appealing to you, definitely pick it up and give it a try. All right, the next one we have is a bakery scent that is, thank God, returned from last year. It is Sugar Cookie. This is a classic. It's basically butter, sugar, and creamy vanilla. And I love this one. It's one of the lighter bakery scents that we have, but it is so well done. Some people may say it's plain or boring. I don't think so. I think it's, well, if it was a little bit stronger, it would be perfect. It's just almost perfect. Yes, I love this one. I like it better than vanilla bean buttercream. So if you are a sugar cookie person, let me know down in the comments below. If you're a vanilla bean buttercream, you can let me know that too. But this is my favorite. This one is Sugar Cookie. My #1 mixer. The next one is in the fruity section, and it is Tinselberry. This was a new release last year. It's strawberry, cinnamon, it is strawberry, cranberry, cinnamon, and sweet sugar. So the strawberry is what changes this up from most fall and winter scents. I don't know. This one is very different. It's intriguing. I like it. I like it more when I warm it, and I like it more the more I smell it. So I'm glad this one came back. I'm definitely Gonna make sure I warm this bar and then I'll make sure I get it back up. Performance for me, let me think if I can remember. I feel like it was just medium at most and maybe not very long lasting, but I really enjoyed what I did smell when I smelled it. So that is Tinselberry. All right, representing the woods category, we have Toasted, Acorn, and Oak. Now this one you could almost put in the bakery because it does kind of read like that. It's Toasted Acorn, Creamy Chestnut, and Golden Oak. And my customer Heidi describes this as a stalker scent. And what she means by that is it is very strong for her and very long lasting. And I would agree, this is a great value scent. But it maybe isn't pure woods. There's definitely a fall creamy bakery component to this. But it's really, really nice. I feel like there's probably some nutmeg in here as well. Very earthy and inviting. And just makes you feel good. I like this one. I put it in my club and I'm happy it came back. So that is Toasted, Acorn, and Oak. All right, the next one we have is a brick in my hand, but in the catalog it will be in bar form because it used to be a holiday brick and now it's made its way into the bakery section of the catalog. It is Vanilla, Cinnamon, Maple. So this has notes of cinnamon stick, maple, and sweet whipped cream. So the maple is there, but it's not too cloying. I'm okay with this. It reminds me a little bit of French toast that we just had in the Bring Back My Bar, but I like this one better. Intensity is probably about a medium. It is warm and cozy, and it's not overbearing on any of the notes. There is cinnamon in here, but to me, it's not overbearing. So this one is Vanilla, Cinnamon, Maple. I am surprised we didn't see spiced eggnog make it in, but we'll have to take what we get. So Scentsy has put this one in the bakery. So the next one we have is a new release. It is the only floral that is into the fall and winter catalog as a new scent. It is called Velvet Moon. And this is probably one of my favorite, if not my favorite new release. So this one is vanilla flower, white musk, and foggy mist. It's probably just going to be one of those scents you have to smell because what in the world does foggy mist smell like? Scentsy has used notes in the past that don't make any sense, and here we have one. So they're probably trying to set the scene. It is a kind of a mysterious, you know, like sensual, complicated, a little bit masculine, a little bit feminine together kind of scent. It warms about a medium. In the clamshell, you're going to think this is going to be too light and a weak performer, but it definitely kicks it up a notch in the warmer. So that is good news. And performance for longevity was pretty good. Not a boomer, not super long lasting, but kind of in the middle on both those aspects. So that is Velvet Moon. I'm really happy and I'm excited to have this one in the catalog. All right, we have a classic in Very Merry Cranberry. This is in the fruity section with notes of winterberry and cedar. So this smells like cranberry. It says it has cedar. That must be hidden way, way, way under all the mattresses. It's like the pea for the Princess and the Pea because it's mainly cranberry. It's vibrant and bright, a good mixer if you want to put a little cranberry pop in with things. So that is a Very Merry Cranberry, about a medium intensity. We have another bestseller. This one is in the wood section. It is Very Snowy Spruce. Has notes of balsam, spruce, cedar branches, amber, and pine cones. This is most people's favorite. I think I prefer iced pine, but now I prefer icicles and evergreen. This one is just kind of, I don't know. I'm going to try to be objective. It is complex. It's well developed. It's about a medium intensity. It's sophisticated. It's got amber, which I think is maybe what my nose doesn't love. Most people love this one. Very Snowy Spruce. Top seller. Been around forever. Definitely give it a try. You want to try all the different tree notes and you will settle on one that you like the best. All right, the next one we have is a new release. It is White Amber and Silk, and this is in the fresh section. It's described as warm amber, bergamot, and comforting cotton. This one here is a very beautiful scent. There's a little bit of a laundry clean cotton, but it's not overbearing. Most clean cottons are too strong. Now in saying this, this is almost going to the opposite end of the spectrum. This is a very, very gentle scent. If you're someone that is new to scent, but you like laundry scents, but you find most of them too strong, then definitely pick this one up. This would be a good bedroom scent, a good nursery scent, but don't expect it to be very strong. That's my experience so far. So that is White Amber and Silk. All right, and now we have Winterberry Apple Tea. This is a fan favorite, and it has made its way into the bestseller category for good reason. Now I'm going to just show you. This is an old bar, and they do kind of tint your clamshells. So do not despair, that is okay. So the notes on this are winter tea, cranberry, apple, and honey. Yes, this is a good one. Some people don't like it, but most people love it. Yes, it's got great performance. It's kind of like a deep, almost like a plummy hug. It says here, winter tea, cranberry, apple. Those almost combine to form a complex hug of a scent. And maybe that's why it's apple tea, because tea is very soothing. So I don't know a lot about tea, and the honey note in here, if it's there, it's perfectly well done. I just think this is a home run type of scent. So I would love to see this come out in bricks. Scentsy, help us out. Club brick would be nice. So that is winterberry apple tea. So there you go, 61 scents bringing themselves into the fall and winter catalog. Obviously, we have our core staple scents that are staying from the spring, summer. And once August 1st hits, which this will be airing close to August 1st, you will be able to scan the website in the Scentsy bar section. You'll see all the bars that we have to offer. Coming up as a continuation to this video is a short video in a few days on the Scentsy oils, the transitioning oils that we have coming into the catalog. So thanks for spending the last few minutes with me. If you have time, put your top 5 fall and winter scents down in the comments below. And if you can't do 5, pick 10. I always like to hear what you guys have to say. I hope you have a great day in your neck of the woods. If you're new, hit the subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video.